In last night's sermon, I asked the question, if God has forgiven you, isn't it time that you forgive yourself? And as a major part of that study, we looked at Luke chapter 15. There are three parables in that chapter: the parable of the lost sheep, the lost coin, and the lost son. Someone called them three windows into the heart of God. It's a passage filled with joy. We find the word rejoice or rejoicing three times. The word joy is found twice. And depending on your translation, there are four references either to celebrating or making merry. And as we see the joy of forgiveness in Luke 15, I want to be clear. It's not the joy of the sinner who has returned to God. It's the joy of God. It's God's joy. It's the joy God feels when his lost son comes back home. So I want you to ask yourself a question. If you're a person who has left the Lord, using the terminology of the text, if you've gone into the far country and you've been guilty of riotous or reckless living, if you came home, how would God feel? How would he feel about that? He'd rejoice. He'd celebrate. It would make him happy. So why don't you do it? Why don't you just come home?